Songwriter Soup.
I was just burnt out of teaching. It wasn't even making that much money at that point.
Right.
I remember talking to you about it. I was like, this is making me hundreds, not thousands anymore.
Healthy recipes for not losing your mind and your money in the songwriter business.
The tipping point was when I got busy enough that I could take that leap of faith and be like, okay, I'm making enough. I'm making a lot more actually than my teaching business in production and songwriting. Can I just trust myself to jump in the deep end and swim?
It's about time for Songwriter Soup.
To start this thing.
That's right. If you got a fancy watch, you can look at it right now and say, yep, it's time.
It's that time.
Boy, hey, before we get too started.
Started.
Let's just put this out there now. Go watch this shit on YouTube, please, and thank you.
Ooh.
I think we're going to talk
Here,
about
okay?
I got some inside knowledge. We might talk about YouTube
Ooh.
and the advantages therein.
Excellent. If you're not familiar with the podcast, David, we begin.
I'm a
By
super
the way,
fan.
We begin every episode by
Soup.
begging. Just kidding.
Begging.
Anyway, I'm going to hand it over to Tracy to introduce our guest.
David Spencer is in the house.
Yay.
Hello.
We're
David.
thankful you're here, man.
I'm thankful I'm here.
Known you for a long time, and I was so excited to have you on to share your story on multiple fronts. But one is the transition, because you and I were intimately involved during that period of going from what we would call day job phase, but you
Yes.
were advanced. You were already day job / doing the deal
Yep.
at the same time, and trying to think through,
What do
do
I
I go
do?
full tilt, not full tilt? And we had such good conversations during that time. I think from that very moment, I was thinking, we got to have you on the podcast.
Ooh, I
Well,
love hearing it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm thankful that you took a risk on me not being full songwriter yet and gave me all the wisdom in the world.
Isn't he
Otherwise,
the
I wouldn't
best?
be here.
Honestly, truly, if it wasn't for Tracy, we all have that ... and it's real.
It's funny. I
real.
was just on a trip with a bunch of young guys, and it's fun to be there with. They're trying to figure it out. One of them was playing in a full-time band, writing, producing, doing everything. Just multiple, gone, trying to balance travel with writing schedule and all that. And it's just part of it,
It's
right?
hard.
It's a crazy hard journey.
So to go into detail, because it's kind of fun flying blind here. I have no idea what you mean.
Yeah, usually
The
that's
day
what
job,
I do.
know, normally we're in the
I know,
reverse
it's awesome.
roles. So the day job pivoty moment, what does he mean? Tell us more.
So, well, thankfully, my first. I'll go way back. Graduated from UNC Chapel Hill. Go Tar Heels. Loved it. My college experience was amazing. I studied music, vocal performance. So I was doing classical,
Whoa.
which is wild because I don't do that at all, and I haven't for 20 years. Didn't even really love it then, but I wanted to go to UNC and I wanted to study music, and that's what they had to offer. So that's what I did.
And he could sight sing, I'm guessing. You could.
Yes.
Yes.
That's thing
that's really
That's
what
a
it
big
is.
one.
the
That's
takeaway
strong.
from that time, well, there's a lot of takeaways. My band, which brought me to Nashville,
Name of band, please.
Spencer Acuff.
Okay.
So anyway, long story short, I came here. The band broke up. I did meet my wife here. So I stayed for the band. Band fizzled out. I stayed for my wife. The band fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
And started teaching music lessons.
Where?
My wife were we married yet? I can't remember. Anyway, working at Vanderbilt. She has her master's in special ed. And she put the word out to her boss, and I started teaching her son guitar lessons. She told the parents at USN.
Okay.
They started calling me.
Okay.
Long story short, over the next 10 years or more, I grew this business, not because I'm savvy, just because it happened naturally, into 80 students, 6 teachers. And we had this like
a going concern.
was like-
That was the impressive part to me. It was like, it was a seriously going concern.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It was wild. So, all while that wasn't my dream to teach music lessons, it was just to survive. And we had kids, and I wanted to provide for them, but I wanted to be a songwriter and a producer. And so my typical day in the 20 teens was 9 to 3, whatever I wanted. So chase the dream.
Whoa.
Not 3:30, clock in, go teach lessons. And we drove house to house. And this was before traffic is now in Nashville. So it was a little easier. 3:30 to 8-ish, I would teach. And I missed family dinner for 10 years. And that was a massive sacrifice for our family. It was hard. I still ask my kids now, they're teenagers. I'm like, do you guys... Yeah,
Are
that
you
affects
mad?
me. They're like, that was,
Are you still
that was
mad?
really hard. That might
Oh
be
my
therapy
God.
later, but it's okay.
That is huge, though.
It was hard, but that was a massive sacrifice for me. So, yeah, so teaching lessons, and then, while at the same time, like that free time that I had from 9 to 3 most days, was amazing to build the muscles and learn what it means to write and produce.
Who were you messing around with? Like, did you have co-writers? Were you in a studio by yourself? What were you doing?
It's kind of crazy. Like I was trying to be, in the very beginning, I was an artist. And then I went to play a show at Belmont, like a Christmas show. This is right after college. So this is a long time ago. Met a kid there, Mark Trussell. I know, he's amazing. So I produced Mark's EP, and then that got around campus, and I produced Ellen Owen's EP, and then they got on The Voice, and then and they were the first season, and so The Voice kind of like made our phone calls ring. Just 10 minutes of TV time was like all of a sudden like,
yeah,
who's this? And that's where I started doing TV film, because a publisher called me to say, hey, we have all this sync stuff we want to.
Wow,
It's crazy. I mean,
Whoa.
everything, and you can't plan any of it. It just kind of like happens.
I find this fascinating because the style in which you got into the industry, at least so far as I'm listening, is just so opposite of something I'm personally used to, or the story I'm used to hearing. However, our paths still cross. Like, I think it's
Yes.
crazy. Mark Trussell played guitar for the band that I moved here to write for.
No way.
Do you know Hannah Blaylock by any chance?
I don't.
Okay. Do you know of her?
No, but tell
Okay.
me.
She was in a band called Eden's Edge, and
Yes.
Mark Trussell played out on the road. I'm guessing this is
remember that.
post this scene, this
Yes.
era, because he wasn't pursuing
The artist thing.
artist thing. He was kind
Yeah.
of wanting to do player
I think
stuff.
everyone during Belmont is pursuing the artist thing.
That's fair. That's step one. But it's wild to me. It's like different avenues, but same people. And it's so a testament to the fact that everyone's trying everything until
Everything.
things settle in.
Yes.
So that's crazy.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're producing stuff for the Voice Peoples.
Yep. So I was doing that artist project. That like went to this little indie record, like went to the top 100 for a blip because of the TV show.
Yeah.
And then we started getting calls from publishers, even though I didn't write those songs, I produced them, but I still was a writer. And so that opened up a bunch of opportunities. And then
Did you
Yeah.
you have a publishing deal at this time
Nope.
at all?
I was
Okay,
about to
yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
So then
sorry.
I got a call from a friend who, this is all like DMs and Twitter back, not X,
Mhm.
Twitter back then. And this kid named Jacob Whitesides, who wanted me to do his first single. And so it just was word of mouth. It was a lot of like passing the torch. I wasn't banging down doors. I'm kind of timid, and like when it comes to making new relationships, I really just wanted to trust God to bring it, while also like working really hard every day at what I was supposed to be doing, or what I thought I was supposed to be doing.
That seems to be the magic mix, though. It's like
Yeah.
just trusting something,
Trusting while keep going.
magnetizing
Yes.
to the,
But also, I think it's not just like there isn't you're inherently opening yourself up, and that is a necessary ingredient, I think, to creating new relationships with people. Like, it's not just I hope this happens. It's like something changes, I think, in your brain chemistry when you are sort of actively putting that out there, that like I'm not just open to this. Like you think you behave differently too.
Yeah. I agree.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The phrase was keep going. Like that was the thing that kind of drove me to do it. I knew from a time I was a little boy. Randomly, my first concert was Boyz II Men opening for MC Hammer.
Hot.
Dang.
We are about the same age, I am
Yep.
guessing.
Second concert was Amy Grant. So there is
Yeah.
also indicative of the worlds I live in now. I'm doing pop music and Christian music and a little country. But the beginning was very instrumental in what I'm doing now, which is cool. But anyway, I'm trying to remember my whole story. Whitesides, I signed with a guy named Billy Mann, my first publishing deal. So basically, he offered to manage Jacob, and he offered me a publishing deal, and it was admin through BMG. And
Did he have a building?
yes,
So
he did
was
in
like
New
a
York.
publisher.
He was
Yep.
legit.
Okay.
Yep, he did. And there was a lot of beautiful. I feel like the 20 teens were like learning how this music business works, and learning the good, bad, and the ugly. He offered me a lot of cool opportunities. Like I wrote a song with Carly Simon, which is coming out next year.
No way.
10 years after
No.
Wow.
we wrote it. Yeah, it's great.
That's
It's
the
a crazy
dream.
story. Yeah, it's wild.
I love hearing that. I've never had that experience where a really old song
10
comes
years.
out. And that always makes
so
me
long.
go,
There's hope.
because there's hope. Because you write, so many, and you're just like, I wonder if
Yeah.
any of them have any chance.
Yeah.
God,
And
what
I
a
just met her.
beautiful
I met
story.
her 3 weeks ago for the first time. We were pen
Shut-
pals until 3 weeks ago.
Really?
That's
Wow.
so cool.
We went up to Martha's Vineyard, me and my wife, finalized the song with Frank Filippetti, who's like legend mix.
Oh my God,
producer.
Wow.
you just pinged another memory window for me. Holy shit.
This is
Frank
the music business.
Frank
it's insane.
Filippetti produced one of my family bands.
No.
No way.
Yes.
Dude, I love Frank.
In New York City, as I recall, on the Sam Ash row. I don't remember what the studio was called, but it was like golden doors and everything. Right. Sam Ash I think it's like 46th and 47th. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
And-
I don't, but it's fine.
Okay, there is
It's fine.
literally
Sorry.
a row. It's kind of like there's certain places in New York that are kind of odd, like all Indian restaurants, one street.
Yep.
Every single one is an Indian restaurant, and there's the music instrument
Stores.
It's like
Ish.
music,
Oh,
but
oh,
it's a
Sam Ash.
store.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
you walk in and you're like,
Bup, 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 bup.
and they're all there. And anyway, I wish I could remember what the name of the studio is, but Frank Filippetti recorded. And oh my God, crazy full circle. Now that I think about it, that studio was the day that I met James Taylor
No way.
in this just weird era
Yes.
similarity. I got in a elevator with James Taylor, and
Come on.
I was just like,
Yeah, right.
like
I
I
would have
had.
been too.
What do you say? You say nothing. You say nothing. You just
Yeah.
shut your mouth. But then he ended up coming in the studio and like saying hello,
Oh
and we
my
were all
God.
like, what? Anyway,
Hello,
I
Sir
can't. Okay, I'm
James.
sorry. I
No,
haven't
it's so
said the words
crazy.
Frank Filippetti
I know.
in probably 20 years.
He's
That's
doing
very
great.
strange.
He's amazing.
I have to give him a
He-
call.
Wow.
Say hello. He won't remember me, but
we
go on.
have a lot of it was awesome to meet him, and he was like, I have that same shirt, my wife got it at Costco, and I was like, my wife got this one at Costco.
And guess what? Now we get each other.
And now we get each other. That was literally how we met.
That's amazing.
But he's great. So anyway, lots of like lessons from that era in time, while also like, so I'm doing all this, like I have a publishing deal, I'm teaching music lessons. I literally went from, this was 2018, I went from teaching a 7-year-old in Brentwood how to play a G major scale on a piano, 6:30 p.m. ish. Got in my car, drove to Hunter Hayes' house to write for the first time with him and Andy Grammer for the song that would be Dear God, which was a really cool song on his album.
That's crazy.
And I'll never forget that day because I rang the doorbell. They were doing a podcast on like higher beings, like opinions of God, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when I answered, they had already gone deep for an hour. So when they opened the door, they're like, "Hi, Dave.
Let's go deep.
Would you like to write a song?" It was awesome though. We got
And
a
then
really
the song
beautiful.
was a
Yeah.
reflection of that
Yeah.
day. That's
Uh-huh.
crazy.
It was cool. So just a lot, like it was a lot of wins, a lot of losses, more losses than wins. But I guess I'm optimistic. So like I just look back at that time as like the time that I learned what it meant to have admin and what it meant to make good relationships with people that last a long time and how
Mhm.
relationships matter most and getting better and trusting your instincts. And like, I didn't know what I was doing, but somehow there was enough wins to keep me going. So it was crazy. The turning point. Well, go ahead.
I was going to ask you that very thing. I'm trying to reflect back of when in the minute we had probably 3 or 4 conversations when you were trying to make that decision.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to reflect back. What was the tip, that one moment where you're like, I can walk away
from the teaching.
from teaching, and it's going to be just fine.
I say that God forced my hand because COVID hit.
Mm.
And I think God forced a lot of people's hands during that season. COVID hit, and I was already burned out of teaching at that point. I had a teacher that wasn't a good steward of all the students I gave them, and lost like 20 students. They all quit. And that was right before COVID. I was just burnt out of teaching. COVID hit, and I remember holding tight. It wasn't even making that much money at that point.
Right.
I remember talking to you about it. I was like, this is making me hundreds, not thousands anymore a month. And I'm still like, I can't let go. Tracy was like, Dave, wake up.
We had a time. Didn't we have a time discussion? Like, this is one of my favorite ways to frame things when we're talking about efforts.
Yeah.
Is to just break down basically your hourly rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was like, what are you making from teaching?
Yeah. What is the actual value versus swinging at the plate for songs or producing a record?
Yep. And at that point, it was definitely, I was producing enough that it was not worth it. But it was because music income is like up and down and up and down and up and down. Even though it was so little amount at that point, I was still like the steady monthly thing. And I was like, I can't let go. Okay.
I want to dive into the psychology of steady income versus the opportunity that is music when you're a songwriter producer. Because that is a malady that I see a lot of. Even if it's hundreds, it's still something.
Yeah,
it's still something.
You're like, but
it's hard to value your time in that pivot. It's just hard to value your time. What more could I do with the time I'm using here, and how much would that equal? Because it could be nothing.
Yeah,
but it could be a lot. I mean, that's a difficult.
I would
pivot.
say like two things. One, like I definitely think that there is a season when you're starting out to find some kind of tangentially related job or gig that can support the habit, so to speak. Because I don't know, it's just a stressful business. And if you can take one stress off of being like completely broke the whole time you're trying to chase a hit song, then it's going to take some of the pressure. It's going to take a lot of the pressure off. And so the teaching was really good. I think the tipping point was when I got busy enough and I was making enough that I could take that leap of faith and be like, okay, I'm making enough. I'm making a lot more actually than my teaching business in production and songwriting. Can I just trust myself to jump in the deep end and swim laps?
I also wonder too, like whether it's awesome or difficult to have your day job include music at all. Like imagining a day job where you're like, I'm gonna phone this fucker in and get out of here and go do the thing I really love doing. Then you're talking about kids and this passing along this passion for music to kids. Like that to me sounds more stressful than getting a job at like a bakery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously
true.
bakery involves treats, and that's a plus, you know.
Yeah.
Question though, seriously, how does that go like in your heart? Like for me, going home is a nice feeling. Like shutting it down is a nice feeling. You never could, I imagine, shut the music brain down.
The muse. Yeah. I think it was hard. It was hard. But I do think that I have patience of steel. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. For me, I think in my like convoluted thoughts, I was like, well, I'm still successful if I'm doing music in some capacity. So that probably is an insecurity, but
in a way, I mean, let's break that open. To who? Like, who is watching you in that moment that's making you, think that?
Yeah.
Is it like the opinions of, like, I'm not trying to dig around, but I am trying to dig around because it is kind of like a whole topic. Like that whole other people's perception of what you do.
Yes.
Is massive. Like
it
takes a lot to
I was
like,
embarrassed to be a teacher. I didn't tell people. I mean, the artists knew, and I found artists that were patient with me when I had to be like, I gotta go, it's 3:30. It doesn't work forever. It wouldn't, I don't think it would work now. But for that season I was in, it did.
It's funny that you were both embarrassed to be a teacher and also unwilling to let go of
Yeah.
the thing that made you a musician.
Yeah.
That's
It's
very
so wild.
fascinating. Because thinking
That's
about
good
it,
stuff.
like everyone has their own threshold for pain. You know,
Yes.
it's like when I have friends who are who are servers. You
Yeah.
know, and when I remember, I mean, I served Phil Vassar one time,
Yeah.
and I was like I felt embarrassed.
Yes.
I also felt like I should use the opportunity to tell him that I was a songwriter. Never do
No.
that. But I did. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a huge fan. I was an idiot. And he has no recollection of this because I'm sure it happens all the time, especially in Nashville. But like,
Yeah.
there's a certain humiliation that comes with
Yep.
doing the day job. I don't think that's real. I actually think that's a lie we're telling
I think it's
ourselves.
a lie.
Mhm.
But I felt it,
Yeah.
when anybody, I actually had like bartender friends who would be like, put your music on,
Mm.
and they'd be like, I love this song,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, yeah, that's it. You're the one who loves it. No one else, and it was
So real.
It was really painful. However, I feel like they're on par.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hanging on really tight to something that it says the word music in it, but then it draining you. And I mean, it's a personal choice. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer.
Yep.
It's just like a personal
It's
choice.
like what is your level of pain?
Yeah.
What is your level
Which
of stress?
which brand is
Yeah.
less
Yeah.
excruciating?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
That's fascinating. And
crazy.
so at one point you're like, I'm letting this go. We're down to hundreds of dollars. It's fumes.
Yeah.
It's COVID. What then? What happened then?
well, this is a crazy story. It basically everything happened all at once. So
Right after you let go of the
yeah,
teaching.
within
I mean, it's
let's see,
6 months?
6 months, I started getting calls to write with people in the Christian music business, and I had already been working with Niani since 2016. They're an independent sister duo in the pop world.
Mhm.
Amazing. They're just wonderful human beings, and we have been together now 10 years making music.
Oh, that's amazing.
And just anyway, I'll tell you more about them. But this is a spiritual story, but also like for the non-spiritual listeners, it can also just be practical story of how when you keep going, eventually things can work out for good.
Mm.
So I think the lesson here is to keep going.
Mhm.
So
tipping point.
tipping point.
Yeah.
It's like, don't give up. I know it's
Mhm.
cliche, but literally it's what happened. So basically in I had all these songs I'd written. And in 2022, January of 22, I got a phone call. We actually prayed that we would get a radio single. And I got basically within 10 days, I got a call that I got a first single for this girl named Katie Nicole called In Jesus' Name. And then the same day, I got a call that Sanctus Real was sending their song to radio. And then a week later, I got a call that Ben Fuller's Who I Am was going to radio. And then Niani, their song that we wrote called Dark Side, the yin of the yang of my career, went viral on TikTok. And then I got my deal finalized with Sony, so that's Essential Music, all within 6 weeks.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it wasn't, I know I said we prayed for that. It wasn't the prayer. It was the keep goingness of it that then all of a sudden it all happened at once. And there's no rhyme or reason or explanation for it, but it was just an unbelievable moment where I was like, what's happening? So it all kind of happened at once.
After 10 years of not making
After, I think,
family
13
dinners.
years.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
10 years of missing family dinners, 13 years of chasing the dream. And then everything happened all at once. And yeah, it was just like this, I don't know why it happened, but it was beautiful. The secondary like subplot of all this craziness is that my kids and my wife taught at the Covenant School where the school shooting was. And basically the culmination of all the stuff that was starting to accrue money came at a time when I had to take like 3 months off and take care of my family. And it's just a lot of weird, right? But it's like a lot of looking back on it, you can see the steps that were taken to like heal and recover and provide and all the things you are insecure about as a writer your whole journey. So yeah, it's kind of wild.
That's
but
crazy and
Yeah.
terribly painful too.
Yeah,
I'm so
it was rough.
sorry.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that whatever power
Yeah.
is in charge,
Yeah.
provided some respite for you and your family. That's fucking awful. As you well know, I'm sure the industry is full of kids, and families. I was in the room with Dave Barnes when all this happened. We were with Jimmy Robbins, who I'm writing with today, and Dan Smyers, who I'm writing with today, and Dave. And
Wow.
it was so bizarre because he had such a sorry we're talking about this, but he had such a crazy response that we were all like, oh my, this is trauma. He was like, I'll be right back. I got, like, we all knew what happened, and he was like, oh, I'm sure I'll be right back. And
that
we
was
were
my
like,
response in the room too.
Yeah.
That's so
Was it
weird. I was like,
really?
I'll be right back.
Be right back. And we had to literally look at Dave
And say,
Dave,
go.
you're not coming back, man.
That's exactly the same thing that happened
You're
to me.
serious?
So serious.
It's a bizarre
It's so
reality
weird.
that when you're having a state of
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
a
Can't be this
full
big.
shot, it can't, and your body immediately goes, oh, this is
Yeah.
nothing.
They were like, no, we're leaving. You're
Yeah, like maybe we won't see you for a year. This could be a
Yeah.
really big deal. And luckily, his children were okay. But still, the trauma is still there. I
Yeah.
mean, it's an insane event. There are so many people who were, in the music industry in that school, their children, and anyway, huge,
well.
huge
Yeah.
deal.
Sorry I
And
brought it up. I just
no,
was like
I'm actually
recounting the whole.
I'm glad you did, because
The whole
we
thing.
have like bizarre events that happen to all of us at the same time. That happened to all of us at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah, it did.
Like I was in New York for 9/11. That happened to
Mhm.
an entire city of people and the world all
Yeah.
at the same time. I mean, those are galvanizing moments, even if they're absolutely tragic and awful. They're still
Yeah.
galvanizing and beautiful in this weird
Yeah.
way that's worth talking about at the very
Yeah.
least. So
Yeah.
I'm very
totally.
happy that you had time and financial bandwidth to relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's like you-
lean in there.
Well,
And doesn't
thank
it?
you.
I mean, I think when God's providence works in your life like that, is it not like on the other side of that, the affirmation of you made the right call. That did you feel? It's not the right way to say
did you
it
have
necessarily.
time
Like
to feel that at
to
all?
even feel that, like in the moment.
Not in that moment.
Yeah.
But looking back now, I can. Yeah, I just know. I don't know. I think that's the thing that's kept me going, is that I've always known what I'm supposed to be doing since I was a little boy. I'm like, I know I'm supposed to write songs and produce records. Like, I mean, it ebbed and flowed between, I know I'm supposed to be a world famous artist.
Well, we all start
and
there.
someone behind the scenes. But yeah, I think that's the thing that is I've always known, but it's always the voices and the predicaments and the circumstances that say, no, you're not supposed to do this.
Did you ever go through a period where, because, I mean, I mentioned him already, but Jimmy Robbins had a tremendous amount of luck right off the bat. Now, I could say luck. I could also say, from writing with him, deserved. Like, the man is that good. It makes sense that it happened. And I'm sure it's the same for you. It's like as soon as it slotted into something that you knew, frontwards and backwards, that's when things really connected,
Yes.
He went through a period, and I'm curious if you did, like, there's a dip, you have all this luck, and then you're like,
dip.
the dip sucks. And
It's right on the other side
the
of the.
fun
It
kinda
happens
dip.
a week after your first number one.
Yeah, literally. But then it happens
You're like,
again.
is it gonna happen? Yeah.
Yeah, it happens particularly after a run. I feel like, I mean, I've had that thing where it's like, wow, I can do nothing wrong. Look at how unbelievable I am. This is never
fancy.
going away. And then it does. And you're like, ouch.
What do I know?
What was that like? Again, it's complicated because you've got tragedy and COVID and all these
know.
other things. And I'm sure there were balancing things where so much gratitude was
I'm like,
probably
oh my gosh,
buffering.
this was hard.
Well, all that drama probably buffers your the dip. It buffers the dip. It buffers the elation, and then it
kinda
buffers the
absolutely
dip.
puts it in perspective. You're like,
Yeah.
I know this dip sucks, but it sucks worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, my publisher is amazing. Jamie and Reagan and Holly and all them at Essential. They are really great to be I can call them and be like, this dip sucks. Or what's next?
It is a lovely thing to be able to call
really
a bitch.
beautiful to be able to. And they constantly, without ceasing, say, Dave, you're doing amazing. Your sessions are great. Your songs are awesome. You're a good human.
That's all.
Keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and that's all you need to keep the hope that. And it does. It's a roller coaster ride. We are living on a roller coaster ride of songs, and I love roller coasters. So
that's lucky. I hate them, and yet I still chose this job. Fuck me.
Your host.
That's fascinating. So,
Yeah.
did you have any I mean, it's a dumb question, but did you have any bloated ego about it? Like, can do no wrong. Or did you? Was there a period?
I don't think there was bloated ego. It was more like maybe I just operated in a scarcity mentality. I was just always like, okay, what's next? Like what, and that kind of stinks too, because you're like, look at what just happened. You just had back-to-back number ones, one of the biggest songs in Christian music in the decade. And then like your pop, Niani's song Dark Side, went crazy viral.
Mm-hmm.
We were just like kids in the studio that all of a sudden this thing blows up. And I'm sitting here thinking about oh, what if I'm done?
Yeah.
It's I guess it's just human nature.
It so is. And it's also weird that you could be lauded at the end of your life for that one little.
I know.
That's the relativity there is crazy.
It is crazy.
Like the whole, I just saw The Holiday. My daughter's finally into rom-coms. Great.
That's amazing.
And it's the best. And we watched The Holiday, and have you all seen it? Please.
Obviously.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
You know the old man, the doodly-doo man? Like how he thought only 10 people were going to show up at his little, celebration of his work because he's an old man, and then the room was full. I feel like that's always the case with our work, because music means more to people than the year of this for you. It just means more to people,
Yeah, 100%.
It's just
That's
wild.
So beautiful.
The theories of relativity around this job are endless.
We've hit a couple of them today for
It's
sure.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, where are you at now? Like, what is this? I mean, obviously, that was only 5 years ago. What has happened since then? That's like, are you just on the ride, doing the thing, keeping the
I'm on
head
the ride.
down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the ride. I am continuing to write every day and produce. This year, I'm producing Jody Messina's new album. She hasn't
Sick.
put a record out in 10 years. So excited. That's coming out next year. The Carly Simon song's coming out. It's been on the shelf for 10 years.
Wow.
Like we said.
Doesn't that little runway of 2026 feel nice?
It's so exciting.
Okay, look, it's the best. It's one of those
All
things.
right.
I did go through a little dip a week ago where I was just like, damn, I guess that's that. And then I got one call.
No way.
Yeah, one
And you're
call,
like,
and I was like, yeah, I feel fine. I'm fine.
It's
Just
true.
because the
One
idea
call
of
can
it.
be like, oh yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I know. Literally, I just
One
got a call
call.
and it's not a promise. It's just the hope of a little
Yes.
something that rhymes with kaboozy, and it's exciting. It could happen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No one does. Kidding. He's a legend.
Yeah.
But no, it could happen. It could not happen. And it, fully 50-50 at this point. There's no even 51%.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it was like, but that could happen. That's cool.
That could happen, and also it sort of signifies that anything could happen.
Yes.
Like more of these little promises, more of these. It's like, oh well, now that we've sort of broken the glass on that, like, yeah, more shit can happen.
What's weird though, Kevin, and the part of it that just blows my mind is it could also all disappear.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Everything I'm
Yeah.
thinking about 2026, it's really it's a lie I'm choosing to believe.
That's right.
Yeah.
That
Can I-
you know what I mean?
Can I just say though, this is a mentality that has like helped me every once in a while. But why would it?
Why would it?
Why would it? Why would it all just go away?
Let's talk about it, because I had a deep thought about this
This
very
is my biggest
recently.
fear. I'm glad we're
I mean-
talking about it. Let me lay down on the couch first.
Yeah.
That's
on,
amazing.
feet up.
Head on lap.
Feet
We're
up.
good.
Kevin's laugh. I do think it's worth talking about. I have had, like, let's talk about it. This is a funny and
breaths.
scary thought. Deep breath, everyone. When I tell you that, so I've had some luck where I have a ton of songs on one album, ton of songs. One song does a something, and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. And you're literally thinking it's going to be ba-bam, 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 bam, bam. I mean, you think Sabrina Carpenter is going to happen to every, you know what I
Yes.
mean? It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
something that's in your head. The
Every
thing
day you write a
is,
song, you're like, yep.
yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And especially if there's a collection, like when you're writing you got
Yeah.
Jody Messina,
Yeah.
great example.
Yeah.
If one pops,
Yep.
you're going, holy shit, album of the year. It's just in your brain. A likelihood of that is small, but B, the success of the one pop that happened is more than enough to celebrate this year.
That's
Do you know what I mean? So again,
good.
theories of relativity, it's insane.
Yep.
But the whole disappearing act thing, it does disappear because of this terrible word called expectations. When you have an expectation, it does disappear. If you don't have an expectation,
Especially after
It
a
just
string
appears.
of success.
Yeah.
You're like, this is the new normal.
expectation.
And you're like,
you
just
literally
kidding.
you rise to the occasion in your own little expectation head. But yeah, that's why it
I
feels
hear what
like
you're
that.
saying. I understand. I think what I'm trying to get at is that, like, in my own, mental illness, like in that, in this regard,
We
like,
all got 'em.
no one's ever gonna call me again, whatever.
Yeah.
But in a way, I think it's like somewhat egotistical and what's like being at the center of the universe,
Right.
in the way where, like, well, this is just going to keep happening because I'm hot shit now. In the same, I think you can look at the dark
other
side of that
side.
moon too,
Totally.
and say, like,
That was
why
good.
would it all of a sudden go away because I'm feeling like it might?
I
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Why
I
did you
do.
get it on the front
Why
end?
why
and
would
won't you
either
get it
happen?
on the
And I
back
think
end?
what's
Yeah.
more statistically likely to
I
happen.
mean, I need to have that thought in my head more often.
Mhm.
I'm
Uh-huh.
truly
Yeah.
what statistically is probably more likely to happen is, like, if there's a broader, longer trend, that trend will either continue or dip in a, like, within a tolerance,
Yeah.
instead of it being completely off the cliff.
100%.
Because just because I'm feeling, it's to me, it's like superstitious almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like you're
Yeah.
right, like
Yeah.
And in a way, neither one is accurate. You're
That's
overconfident
right. Yeah.
and you're underconfident. What's funny is this feels connected to the way you manage
money.
my
Oh,
finances.
yes.
Because
that I was
I've actually
resonating.
called Tracy when
I
I think
know.
it's falling off the
I
cliff.
know,
And I'm
same.
like,
Yeah.
are we
Oh,
done?
are we good?
And he's
Okay.
like, you're fine, Dave.
But the thing is,
It's going to be within a tolerance.
yes.
Yeah.
I always go like this. He manages money like an X. Like one thing's going up when one thing's going down, but on the timeline moves like this.
Wow.
And that helps
That's
me
a really
relax.
good visual.
And
yeah.
I feel like, is it?
Yeah,
It's
it's
great
really
visual.
good
'Cause I
because
can't-
Good job.
okay.
it's just you just described diversification with your
Yes.
arms.
Hit songwriter.
What's funny though is I feel like this is exactly the same. If you can manage your expectations like on an X that moves like this, instead of thinking like, oh my God, every song on this album is going to go number one and I'm going to literally be like
Yeah.
jumping into my McDuck pool any minute now. Kind of going like, nah,
We are the
it'll
same age.
probably.
McDuck. I love it.
How old are you?
43.
45.
Come on.
each, yeah.
Beat me. Okay.
Anyway, but I feel like it's the same. If money and expectations were managed the same way Tracy manages money,
Mhm.
we'd all be a little bit more relaxed and probably a little less psychotic.
And probably
Manic.
that's what your publishers and managers do for you.
Yeah.
I'm remembering a story my dad told me. My dad sold insurance early on in his career, and that's a brutal gig. At least when he started, it was virtually door to door, like literally lots of no.
Mm-hmm.
And he would tell this story about going into his manager's office and be like, "I'm out. This is ridiculous. I'm out." And the guy would say, "Sell one more policy.
Wow.
Just go sell one more, and then quit. Quit at that point."
Mm-hmm.
And it was he
It
never
was a
quit.
trick.
It was a
Man.
trick. It's the same trick they use on
Yeah.
y'all probably
That's
of
so
like, just
good.
write one more song.
My
just
wife,
do this
that
next.
was like a rule we had in our house during the 20 teens was like, if next year is a little bit worse, I forget. We had some thresholds. I can't remember. Concussed brain, but we had some thresholds. But I remember, generally speaking, it was like, let's go another year. It will look back if last year was worse.
Yes.
Well, maybe you can go be a nurse. Never gonna happen. But yeah, and it was one of those. We took the next step each year, and each year kept building on each other, and it just was
just taking that next
step. I wanted to be clear though, and this is a good reality check, because unlike Tracy's ex that casually goes up,
yes,
that is not the same.
It's not.
Like when I look at my career and I look at the first couple years, I see one hit and I'm like, fuck, whoa.
Yeah.
Then the next year was like, oh
Nah.
no, I did have luck in the beginning. It was like one and then another one. And then it was a dip. Pretty significant. Then I had Maren Morris, and and then it was after
Yes.
2020. Holy shit, I fell off a cliff. Literally, like my team just told me, this is me revealing probably too much. So I'm embarrassed about this in a way, but fuck it. I'm hosting
It's
a
real.
podcast.
Yeah.
I want people to know this.
It's
2020 was probably my biggest year of like activity, and of course in total silence at home with no no parade or
No one
red
to
carpet or
celebrate.
nobody knew, but I had a lot going on. 2021 I felt really self-important and felt like I needed to save the world one song at a time. Cuts started dipping because nobody wanted to do that at that point. Then 2022 I had a nomination, which was really cool. That did not pivot my income at all.
Yeah.
That made my star rise, but at that point, no pivot of income. The following year, Mike told me the other day, I had 13 cuts in 1 year. For me, I'm just being honest, that is pitifully low. Pitifully low. I've never had that few before.
Wow.
And it was after all these incredible accolades and success. I fell off a fucking cliff. I really did. And then we slowly built back, and I'm back to, where I have always been, which is like, a competitive, whatever. And this year's been a little more exciting than that. So I'm on a little bit of a rise. But the truth is, it crashes.
Man, it
We
would be
have market crashes in our careers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not just protected plans,
That's
right. And it's because of things like trends. It's because of things like, people think you're hot shit and then they're like, I'm gonna try something else.
Yep.
Like that's part of our job. And I feel like setting the expectation that this is
smooth. It's not
smooth,
my
Yeah,
career.
you're
Y'all,
right.
not.
y'all don't have my career.
It's not the
Unfortunately.
same.
1000%.
Sorry about that.
And we don't have a salary, and we don't
That's
have
right.
benefits, and we don't have, none of those things. So let's be real. There are moments where you're like, holy shit, what am I going to do? But I think the advice is the same, which is just to
It's to
keep
keep going.
because
Sorry. Sorry about that.
it's a really weird part of it.
It's why we're crazy. You
it's
have
the
to be crazy to
handshake.
run it. But
Yeah.
Well, and like
it's
you
the
said
handshake
about
you shake.
at 9 or 10 years old, when you were like, this is who I want to be.
Yeah.
This is
it
who
was
I
like
am.
for
Even more.
believing and trusting that.
Yeah.
And I believe of you and of me, because we both love our families, if it never gelled, we would have done something else. Like
Yeah.
I would not drive my family into the ground
That's
to
very
make
true.
this dream come true.
Yep.
And just for those of you who are out there, maybe you're on year 13 and you're like, I can't keep going, guy. I cannot keep going.
Yeah.
Then don't.
Yeah.
Ironically,
It's okay.
too, the biggest sacrifice that you made was doing the thing that was just kind of supplementing you to get to write. Meaning, like
Great point.
You-
yeah.
you love and needed to provide for your family so much that you sort of had to
Do a couple things.
do some things that you didn't that were
Do 47
possibly
things.
Yeah.
detrimental to, you know what I mean, to your ability to enjoy your family.
Yes. Yeah.
And I say this because I can relate, and it's not a con.
in their infancy, which was
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the beginning, formative years.
But I want to
Sure.
say there's a line. There's a line.
Of
There's a line.
course, of course there is, but it's just like, it's funny, like how important
Mhm.
family, and this is like, probably too much, but
Never.
just
Kevin,
like,
keep going.
if your you know,
The honest pod.
how important your family is to you and providing for them can drive you to do
I
things
fully
that
agree.
take you out of
Oh yeah.
that
Mhm.
equation kind of. And like
Yeah.
that anyway, that's a sort of an
Yeah.
aside, but
I
That's
mean,
good.
just to your point, and I don't, I spend just a touch of time crapping on my parents every now and then, but they took this too far. My parents took this too far. Like
Didn't call
they
it.
waited entirely too
Mm.
long. They did not. The food was not on the table. The rent was not paid, and we were kind of, as children, programmed to believe that we were all waiting for this star to rise. And I just want to say, like, you would have to be a sociopath
Yeah.
to choose that. And in my head, no one with a sane approach to life would ever choose that. So I feel like I have a catch-all there in my heart that songwriters are people who want to make a dream come true. It's amazing, but very few of us are that dumb.
Yep.
Very few of us are that irresponsible. I just want to say.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just don't think that's like casually happening out there. And frankly, anyone that desperate, there's an air, like magnetism wise. Nobody wants to
You
be
feel it.
around. You
Yeah.
feel desperation. And
100%.
if you're at that point, give the fuck up. You
Yeah.
don't have to drive your family into the ground. I'm just saying it because I know that there's that whole keep going.
I know.
And I think certain ears hear that a certain way. And I'm like,
It's true.
ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assess your situation.
Yes.
For sure.
And
It's another
protect your
one of those
family.
Yeah.
spots in the business world, you'd have 15 personality quizzes to take to assess whether or not this is a good fit.
Mm.
Y'all don't have that either. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, in my world, it's like, oh, you're better at communicating, or you're better at the paperwork side, or this, and you can sort of navigate your world your way through the business world. And there's some guidelines, let's say.
Mhm.
There are no guidelines.
There's no rules.
You could pursue that dream to the ends of the earth, to the
Mhm.
detriment of everybody around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody's really incented to tell you not to, by the way.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, keep going, keep
Yeah,
going.
Exactly. It's a
'cause
you
cute
might have
set
a
of
hit.
words, but
You
Yeah.
might, you might, I mean,
true.
you might
There's
have a
also
hit.
pivoting, which is something we talk about a ton. It's like you get
My favorite topic.
It's such a great topic because, like, we had Matt Drag on, who is Dragstrom, which is
Yeah,
he's
it's
amazing,
awesome.
and he was talking about meeting Beth Laird, and Beth Laird. He could have pivoted to a different part of the business, and that relationship still would have been valuable. Like, there's pivots too. If again, I'm just saying it because it's always in the back of my mind when I hear those, like, never give up. I'm like, oh God, some people
Never
Yeah.
give up, but it can be a hobby.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yes.
Like,
Totally.
like I always like to
I like
underline
that.
That's
that.
good.
Like, never give up, but it can be a hobby. It still is
Doesn't
for
have to
me.
be the thing.
And
I like that.
I think there's a difference though between never give up and keep going.
Ooh,
Oh.
Never give up
Mm.
to
give it to us,
me
Kevin.
sounds like keep going seems there just it
There's
feels
a
more
curiosity.
affirmative
Yeah.
and also like keep going means like keep pursuing, take in new information
Mhm.
and make
Yeah.
adjustments.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Never give up is like I have this one thing and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
I'm gonna make it happen.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it happen
Mhm.
to the detriment of whoever.
Yeah.
But keep going.
It's true. I mean, in the beginning, my keep going was to be an artist. That obviously did not pan out.
Yeah.
There's
thank
a
goodness.
pivot.
Yeah,
Good
you
example.
pivoted.
Pivot.
There's also the spiritual aspect of keep going and never give up that was, I think, confusing for my parents too.
Mm.
I feel like that, like when it feels like this ordained thing that
Right.
you're meant to do this thing. I think in my parents' defense, I really feel like they had some kind of voice in their head that said, you need
You have
God.
to. Yeah.
is
God
telling you to do this.
Right.
And I feel like that's
Yeah.
maybe loosen the grip
can-
on the, you're here for 5 minutes. The universe is vast.
Yep.
There's no way there is a force up there that is gonna perish if you don't make
That's right.
it. You know what
That's
I
right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
the
Boy,
world is big.
Creator versus created is a good way to think.
Yeah.
You know what I
Whoa,
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's good.
who's the who's the creator. Like,
Well said.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it
I don't even
kind
know
of-
how to
yeah.
unpack that.
It's a
But
lot.
it just
Yeah.
came
I got it immediately because I
Good.
feel like my dad had those a little bit confused.
Yep.
Yeah, I just feel like he thought that it was his his mission or something, and I'm like, no, it's fun.
Yeah.
This job
That-
is
yeah.
fun, and if it is making you feel
It's- yeah.
deep despair or fear for your family, then maybe do something else. Anyway, I admire your journey with the whole thing because it was like you were listening, but you weren't like,
Yeah.
come hell or how,
Yeah,
that
that's
is-
right.
It's too extreme.
No, I think even to this day, I still am like, all right, what's next?
Same.
you know.
Mm.
And if
Isn't that
something,
part of the fun?
yeah,
I mean, I would.
it's like staying
I
curious.
always imagine what it's like to be y'all. To sit in that room, like, or walk in that room and thinking,
It is wild that
what's
we
happening
continue.
today?
Like, you don't, generally speaking, you don't know what's going to, well, nobody knows what's going to happen the following year. But like, I don't know, in this job specifically, you're like, I know that I will work with the people on my calendar next
Mhm.
month,
Yeah.
but then all
Those
the,
are constants.
yeah, it's just like, but that's it. And all
That's
the
our
songs you
son.
wrote in those sessions, you have no idea,
You don't
no
need.
control,
Yeah.
no anything. And
That's
you get
a
to see
really nice way to put it, though.
Yeah.
Like that's what you can depend on,
it's a good point. Yeah.
and that feels nice. Like
Yeah.
I can depend on writing with people I like and
Yeah.
making
You've-
music I'm proud of.
And that's like an important part too of like becoming a writer in the town you're in the circle, and finding your
Mhm.
people, and like I can depend on my co-writers and becoming my friends, and it helps you do your whole job better and be able to lean on each other in the good and the bad.
100%.
And,
I just want to talk a little bit about your sync life because I know there's a lot of people who are curious about that we don't really talk too much. Like I should. I haven't really gone deep on like how you, like Matt Drag was talking about how that's something he did in the beginning of his career. A few cool placements and a few cool syncs kind of kept him going. But you've
Yeah.
had like tremendous success with
I've had
sync.
a good bit. It's just as random as everything else. I mean, I have found, especially lately, that artists, or I mean, music supervisors they want to use dope music. They want to use dope artists.
Mhm.
And so in a way, it's like they're trying to break artists and expose artists in their way, that the same way that maybe a label would want to
Mm.
break or expose their artist.
Mm.
But it's just doing it through a different medium.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so for me, the most success I've had in sync is honestly with Niani, because
Oh, wow.
they're a brand.
Right.
And early on, like we talked about wanting to, or they talked, they're brilliant. They could do I keep telling them to do TED Talks because they run their business so well. And
Oh,
they
wow. Maybe
they're
we
just
should have them
super
on.
savvy. They're
Man.
amazing. They're hilarious. You should definitely have them on. They know the business and the algorithms and the everything really well.
Ooh.
But they wanted to basically podcast
So-
number
I don't
3.
even know what
You
an algorithm
really
is.
perked up
Sorry,
there.
that was me.
No, algorithm
Guilty.
is fascinating. So yeah,
I have no
and
idea.
scary. Anyway,
I'm
Like,
so glad you
oh.
picked up on that.
Mm.
like I said, so Niani gets a lot of syncs because in the beginning they wanted to like break. We had this early, I don't know, thought that maybe they can grow their brand through TV film. I think maybe Imagine Dragons did it that route. Like they kind of like their beginnings were maybe in sync first. I don't know.
Sure.
But anyway, that's kind of what happened. They also did a ton of collaborations with DJs and got on playlists on Spotify with different EDM playlists in Europe, which grew their numbers as well. But I just learned with them that these supervisors, they loved them, and so they would use them in commercials and all kinds of different things. Direct relationships with supervisors is definitely important. I lean a lot on like the people in town in LA they have companies that they're trusted companies. They're not like, please submit here for $3.99.
We
That's a
should
good
talk about
distinction.
that.
Thank
Do
you for
not
that.
pay to pitch your songs to TV film, first of all. Second of all, it needs to be a human being that you're talking to who has relationships with
That seems
these
like
music supervisors.
That seems like an obvious one, but I feel like it bears
gotta highlight
repeating.
that.
I feel like there are people who really, really think, my God, but if they just heard this, they would pick it. And the math has to keep mathing in the back of your head that 1,000 people are submitting,
1,000 or more,
and that the person's ears are exhausted.
Yeah,
like those little tidbits. Like, but paying, I think that, man, I wish that was just a louder.
So that
point.
I mean, sync is like you got to be different musically. It's got to be different and creative. Just like we're all trying to do that in whatever we're writing.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of sounds weird to say out loud, but it does. They're looking for weird. They're looking for different. And then they're looking for like brands. They don't want like random sync song number 475.
That's maybe an encouraging thing to hear for people who are afraid of AI just killing that industry. Everyone's afraid.
I think you're
AI,
right.
But
is
the
an
fact
encouraging
that
thing.
you're saying that the person at the end of that, the human being at the end of that, wants a brand, as in an artist, as in.
I'm hopeful that the AI thing is like organic, non-GMO, and machine-made meat, and I think that there probably is going to be a world for both. But I think that there's going to be a large need for organic, non-GMO songs.
And the way you put that is really nice because it's more expensive.
It is more expensive.
It's more.
And we love it.
It's more farmer.
Yeah.
Creator.
Like grass-fed.
Yeah.
I like the way you put that because I think I think it's going to like kind of kill a few people's businesses who have been just churning out bullshit on repeat and making zillions of dollars on just doing an impression of oneself. Like,
and making the unique more
homogenized,
more commercial, making the unique things more attractive.
You're saying
to
the opposite
us as
thing. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like, and being more like interesting or something. I feel like that's kind of good for music because in every industry, Christian particularly, country particularly, like there is a incentive to be the same. I don't know what the powers that be that keep their heel on it. I don't personally know those people, like Handshake, but they exist.
I don't either, but they do exist.
And Christian and country, I would say above all other genres, there's a heel on top of them that says, we do it this way. This is the way it's done. It reminds me of the other rom-com that I watched with my daughter.
Yes.
My first favorite movie called Strictly Ballroom. Has anyone ever seen it?
That I have not seen.
I think I have, but it's been eons.
Okay, it's a Baz Luhrmann film. One of my, I am obsessed with this. It was my first favorite movie. I was 12 when I saw it, and I watched it 3 times in succession. And I'm just dumb tidbit. No one cares. But I'll tell you this. There was the whole premise of the movie is the power of the Federation saying, these are the steps we dance. You can't do these new steps.
Right.
There are no new steps. And then there is people that are going, why not? And it's this fight between Strictly Ballroom.
Yeah.
It's this fight between the strictness of the Federation, whose incentive, by the way, is their fucking pockets, and the freedom and wonder and beauty of dancing, and the idea of not showing that people can dance however they want. It's the same in music, in my opinion.
So
I feel like AI will somehow draw out kind of the, real creators from people who have just been making money in this business by doing following the rules. And I've never followed the rules. So I really enjoy the fact that like there's an incentive there.
Yeah, I agree.
It excites me.
Yeah.
And for sync, again, I think that's a really interesting thought because I feel like people are like, that's the first thing that's going to go. And here you are, someone who's fully in it, kind of going, nah.
I mean, I really don't. I think that, again, I'm an optimist, but
I like it.
I think that there's going to be always a need for human-made music.
I agree.
What do you think this incentive is for the music supervisor to break a band? Like a
That's a good question. I don't know if I have an answer to that.
I have a guess.
I mean, I've got some guesses too.
Yeah.
I was just sitting here kind of pondering it, thinking, oh, that's kind of a cool thing. I like
awesome.
the direction. And I'm wondering,
Music fan. I mean, if you're a fan of music, I think it's just like
every supervisor I've ever known is a massive music fan.
I think by
huge.
Massive.
definition, you kind of have to be,
But
And a student.
right? Like you gotta
Yeah.
be a massive fan in a way that is like
you're like a
you're
music,
such
music librarian.
like a
music
curator.
Yes.
librarian to the point where like you can imagine you've had so many experiences with music that you can see a piece of film and be like, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
I also think my guess was that it's probably financial, because if you have music, that's the movie or the show is promoting the music, and you have a band out there also you have 2 points of promotion.
There you go.
To me,
Yeah.
that seems like
Yeah, I like
incentive
that.
just from a money
Just from
perspective.
just making it win, making
Fun to have a
making your
music
company
supervisor on too. I'd
Mm,
love
that
Yeah,
would
it
be
would be cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that though. It makes me curious about that job, a music supervisor for, like, that sounds fun.
I think
Mhm.
about
I know.
different jobs in the music industry and think like, oh, maybe I would be for it. Then I think about the like music supervisors for some reason in particular intimidate me. Not them personally, but like just the idea. It's like, oh, I'm
They
not
know
that. I'm not
everything.
that deep on music.
Yeah.
It's like when you're
Shit.
producing a record and you have every single sound and instrument at your disposal. You have to be like, but the guitar is the right one for this.
Mhm.
That's like, that can be, when in the beginning, that was overwhelming to me. I was like, so which one plays what?
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm fascinated by the new areas we've kind of
Oh my goodness.
delved.
it's awesome.
Just kind of
Delve?
scratching.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
So
wild.
good.
Now, do you just do, because again, we're sort of in different circles for very understandable reasons. Like whatever your friend said in the beginning, which is you have to wear many hats.
hats.
It's like I
Yeah.
wear one.
Yeah.
I wear multiple hats genre wise, but I wear
Yeah.
one hat, and occasionally I'll pop on my vocal producing hat, but that's it.
Yeah.
And
is
she's a
fun.
hat that collects dust. She's a every now and then hat. All that to say though, are you still writing songs for country, Christian pop, and also doing sync music? And
I am doing, so I'm writing, and I would say my two hats are writing, producing.
okay,
Like writer, producer guy. But across all the different genres, truly. Which I think is fun. I think, in the beginning, I thought it was would be to my detriment, because I was like jumping around so much that I was like, I need to get good at one thing. And so I think part of me thinks my story, the length it took to get to where I am today, took so long because I was jumping around so much. But the beautiful thing about it when I look back on it now is that now I can jump in a room confidently and be like, what are we doing today?
What do you need?
Let's go for it.
yeah.
Mm.
And so my 40s have been this awesome, fun, like, let's go kind of mentality versus
It's like you were getting,
okay.
yeah, it's like
You
you were
know.
getting 5 master's degrees. Like
Yes,
at the
at
same time, it
once.
takes
It
longer.
was so hard.
But then when it all exploded, it exploded all at the same time.
Yep. And so now it's fun. I can just wear, what kind of pizza would you like today? But it's great. Yeah. So I definitely am producer writer only. But jumping around genres is fun for me. It helps my ADD. And
Is there
Yeah.
any other part of the music industry you're still curious about? Or are you happy with the ones?
I think that I probably would, not really. I think I could see myself teaching kids at Belmont.
Oh
like,
my God.
That's what I would love to
the
do.
circle back of all fucking time.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, seriously?
I'd like to, Belmont, if you'd like to talk.
So a
Later,
professor?
not now. Yeah, I think so. Something that would like take full circle of where I started to all
That's
the
the
lessons.
cutest
and
circle back of all time.
Mhm.
I love that.
and it's genuine. It like really is like, I think that's what I would, when I slow down, if I do, that would be a fun
That's really cool.
stripe on my whatever it is.
I mean, obviously I love teaching, but I don't like teaching where someone needs me to,
Yeah.
grade a paper.
Well, and I do a lot, like, I think I do a lot
Not
of like,
gonna happen.
I work with a lot of new artists.
Uh-huh.
And like all of my big songs have been with like first singles of new
Mhm.
artists.
I love that.
Not because I'm shit. I think it's just what happened. And it's a passion of mine. And so I think just like pouring into
Hmm.
younger people is just it's kind of in my DNA.
Have you done any signing? Do you sign publish?
Not yet. It's in the
Are you interested
conversations.
in that?
Yeah. So
Cool.
that's kind of like, but I haven't done it yet because I want to do it right, and I need to know all that I'm getting into first.
God bless you for caring.
I
Because
really care
cautious.
about that. I don't want. Yeah, I just want to have full understanding of it before I jump into someone else's livelihood.
yeah.
So,
there
And
you go.
dreams coming true.
coming
Hello.
true. Yeah.
Little pressure.
No,
I like
so,
that you care because I think it's easy to jump into by way of just.
Yeah, you can easily just be like, okay, I've had my success now. Let's go take everyone else's.
Yeah.
It's like not.
That's a great way to say it.
That is not what
That's what it looks like.
It's not.
To me,
where
that's
I
what it
am.
looks like, unless you're willing to say, "Hey, what the fuck? And
Yeah,
where's my
I
building?
love
And
music
where's
too
my
much.
staff? And how am I going to make sure this kid isn't going to hate me at the end of the 5 years
Oh my
that I
gosh.
put in?
Yeah. No.
I love that. I'm glad you care.
Yeah,
I care.
I do. Yeah.
I will never sign anyone. It's a vow. I have no interest because again, the pressure of that makes me feel like
It's a lot.
It
It's a
is,
lot
and
just for us to like do our own
truly.
career.
And I also I have children. I'm pouring into my children's dreams. I don't having them have to share that passion is almost I'm good. I'm chock full of kids.
Yeah.
And then mentoring for free is, by the way, scratches the itch. If you find
it's way more fun.
It's way more fun if you find that, that's too much, or maybe I don't want to sign people.
Yeah,
or maybe
you don't
I
have to
wanna,
monetize every part of the music.
You really don't.
You really don't.
You really don't.
That's well said.
Well
You
said
really
again.
don't. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this is also fun. Just giving away what you learned to the kids.
I love it. It's like, it's this passion that literally gave me an entire career and life and provides for my whole family, like miraculously.
And these kids are going to need more than just the basics of how to get through, because they're having to fights I didn't have to fight in the beginning. And so just having someone to call and be like, hey, that means everything. That means everything. I love those calls. I get calls where it's just like, I'm about to sign a deal. I'm scared. And I'm like, let's talk. You know, that gives me so much joy.
Totally.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
It's so good.
Well, God, you are a wealth of knowledge and fascinating stories.
Thanks. It's crazy.
Thank you so much for coming on here and talking with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Because we did this at the beginning of the episode, I'm not going to ask you to
subscribe,
but
I will
comment, watch it on YouTube.
Send us questions.
Absolutely.
We need to have a question episode here soon.
We keep saying it.
Keep
Tracy
saying it.
and-
But
We just have
getting
too many good guests.
banger
to
guests.
Have
That's
these,
the problem.
Just the trio.
And it's not that big of a problem. And I think you like it. So
It's so good.
thanks for listening, guys. We love
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.